So it's been pretty apparent over the past few months that Bungie's sandbox team does not play their game. Even if that isn't true, they have not been doing a good job of reflecting that with any of the changes that they've been making. Pointing out that Ikelos and Teraba are busted and giving them a slap on the wrist only to not touch Peacekeepers and then introduce the Immortal around the same exact time as that nerf, that's clearly a stroke of genius. Overshields being a long-time pain point in PvP, let's make them even easier to keep up. The terrible capture zone in Trials, promoting people to only run Bubble Titan or Well-Lock, being extremely maligned for its entire existence, only to become the new main game mode, now that's awesome. Getting rid of melee lunge on Ophidians but not on Synthos or Arc Titan, clearly that makes a ton of sense, especially with Arc Titan being just the most underpowered class in the game right now and for the past 6 months. How could they one-up any of this, you might be asking? By not only doubling down on the latest nonsensical Stompies rework, but by giving the most flawed reasoning imaginable. I don't even have to poke holes in it because that shit was presented to us like Swiss fucking cheese. Stompies, an exotic armor piece that only lets you jump or slide higher and further, is too free, so it should require your dodge to be fully charged if you want to take advantage of the extra jump and slide distance. That would make perfect sense if Ophidians required a melee charge for the handling bonus, if KARNSTEINs required a melee charge, or if Transversives required your rift to be up. However, none of those are that popular right now, other than maybe Ophidians, but that's only because Warlock isn't Arc Titan. So let's apply that logic to the plethora of Titan exotics that should have gotten something like this before Stompies. Dunes and Synthos 100% should only have their bonuses active if you have a charged melee. Same with no backup plans, and Antaeus wards should require that you have your barricade up. If any of those pissed you off hearing them, despite that making a ton of sense in the same vein as the Stompies nerf, you should be mad about the Stompies nerf. They were not oppressive, you just don't want to flick your thumbstick up or down or whatever. I haven't played on a controller in a minute, I wouldn't know, and that's a skill issue. Before anyone goes and types a paragraph in the comments, I'm a Warlock main, fucking hate PvP right now because they've done nothing good with it over the past year and there's no incentive to get better with them shoving SBMM down everyone's throat. And having played Arc Titan enough to know that this fine gentleman right here could play it and drop a 5.0 at least with either Antaeus, Dunes, or Peacekeepers on any day of the week, but especially on controller, Bungie doesn't know how to balance their game. Hopefully the current unjustified price hikes for their content are going towards getting a PvP team or maybe even an actual comp rework that isn't just slapping a cheaply printed label maker sticker on the old one and calling it a rework. I'll have an actual video out tomorrow, but most of my coworkers have been on vacation and I've been working a lot, so that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make this because I thought it was funny that some people were actually thinking that this was a good argument or that this made sense and was a good justification for the change. It's not, and a waste of time on everyone's part trying to work on this because it makes no sense. It's very frustrating that they haven't touched anything like Peacekeepers or young Ahamkara's spine in the meantime.